Now, her surname may begin with an M, but the new head of MI6, Blaise Metreweli, will not be known by the letter that's assigned to her fictional counterpart from the James Bond films, but by the real-world equivalent, the letter C. The Cambridge anthropology graduate who spent a quarter of a century in the intelligence services at the age of 47, relatively young for this role, which a role she said today she was proud and honoured to assume. She's also the first woman to head the Secret Intelligence Service, a position which, ironically, has removed her cloak of secrecy. Now, there is a noble tradition of British female spies. In some cases, they have inspired characters portrayed in print and on screen, including the alcoholic Soviet specialist Connie Sachs from Le Carré's Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy.
First they chuck us out with an old bone, then they come begging to us. I was the best head of research the circus ever had. Everyone knew that. And what did they say the day they gave me the chop? That personnel cow. You're losing your sense of proportion, Connie. It's time you got out into the real world.
So what do we know about the women who spied in the real world? The historian Claire Hubbard-Hall knows rather a lot. She's the author of Her Secret Service, The Forgotten Women of British Intelligence. And we began with what's known about the new head of MI6, Blaise Metreweli.
She went to Cambridge University, applied to the Foreign Office, got identified as being suitable for SIS, fast-tracked in to SIS, or more commonly known as MI6, and most of her career, over half of her career, is spent overseas, mainly in the Middle East and Europe. So she's an Arabic speaker, she's a linguist, she's a specialist in technology, she's got experience of running agents, operational experience in the field, you name it, she is ready to take the helm, but really at a quite challenging time.
And we've had two women at the head of MI5, of course, domestic intelligence, but she's the first to head MI6. But there are plenty who have, and you, I hope will excuse the pun, have blazed the trail for her over the years. Tell us a bit about them, because you've written about them.
Yes, no, absolutely. So women have been right at the heart of British intelligence since MI6 was conceived, its inception in 1909. Just a couple of months later, the first woman is recruited as an MI6 agent. And she is nothing like the stereotypical portrayals of female spies that we see in film and on the screen, of being very sexy and glamorous and taking men to bed to get their secrets. Agnes Blake was her name. She was actually a middle-aged widow literary translator who travelled backwards and forwards to Germany, gathering information on top German military officers and bringing that information back.
And some of the real women have inspired the fictional agents that we've seen on screen and in books.
One of the key women whose story is told throughout my book from beginning to end is a remarkable woman called Kathleen Pettigrew. Very spy-like name, just like Blaise Metreweli. And Kathleen Pettigrew was the inspiration for Ian Fleming's Miss Moneypenny character. She was the so-called secretary that sat outside of the MI6 chief's office during the Second World War, and Ian Fleming would have passed her desk on the way to his meetings. She's incredible. Her career spanned 40 years. She rose from very humble beginnings in London, from a working class background. She was a self-made professional woman who rose right to the inner circle of the MI6 chief during the Second World War. She's a name that has been forgotten, largely because of, I think, the portrayal of the spying world by Ian Fleming, John le Carré, etc., as being very much a man's world, has kind of sort of overshadowed these real women doing extraordinary work.
The historian and author Claire Hubbard-Hall.